Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today is a different type of video. It's kind of a vlog type video. On my experience this past weekend judging a regional and kind of going through the process of what it was like judging my second event. But before I get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'll really help me out. We already have more than 100 subscribers, which is awesome. So let's keep the momentum going. But yeah, this was my second time judging a regional. I felt a little more prepared than I was the first time around, which is great. You know, it's had an amazing group of leads and head judge helping me out, whenever I had a question about something, even rulings too, because even though I'm pretty great at rulings, there's still some rulings that I could get wrong, and I kind of did get one wrong, which was fine. And really quickly on that ruling, sorry, so I'm also gonna put little things, and just so that way there's something in the video, things that I picked up at Target, the little figurine stands. Like I was saying, one of the rulings, well, the only ruling that I did get wrong was having player A, I think it was player B, sorry, being under Joan Lockbird. Can you still activate Nessie? My ruling was no, you can't, because it's kind of the part of it, right? It's part of the card text. But then I talked to my floor lead, because you're separated into two groups, so you have two floor leads. And my floor lead, I went up to him and I was like, hey man, I have a good question about about Nessie versus Drone Lockbird. Can you attempt to activate Drone Lockbird in this situation if you're under Drone Lock? And he's like, yes, you can, because, and the explanation was great, is because since it's random, you're not necessarily guaranteed that you'll hit Nessie on the resolution. So what happens is, if it does, if you do end up hitting Nessie and it hits the graveyard, you can't draw a card because you're under Drone Lockbird, but you're still able to activate its effect because, let's say the player has 4 cards. You have a 1 in 4 chance of hitting Nessie. The other 3 you don't. So it that was his explanation, and that's kind of the explanation I'm giving you guys as well, is, you are allowed to activate. It's a legal activation to activate Nessie under Drone Lockbird. So just keep that in mind if you guys ever get either a tier player or someone that just plays Dangers or Dark World, right? Because they also have it in Dark World. But yeah, it was really fun. I did have a lot of fun. There were stressful situations, where I almost questioned myself, but most of the rulings were pretty simple. One of the rulings that I did have was the most I think the most common one was the one that I had, was SP Little Knight and Baron de Fleur. So when, let's say, player A has SP Little Knight on their field and also a Baron on their side, or reverse too, if SP Little Knight is on player A side and Baron de Fleur is on B side, but Baron de Fleur already just activated their effect. So it would be I'd say Chainlink 1, Book of Moon to target a monster on the field. Chainlink 2, Baron de Fleur to negate and destroy. Chainlink 3, SP Little Knight. So the chain resolves. When Baron hits the field again, does it get its negate again? And the answer is yes, it does, because it comes back as a new monster. Whenever a monster leaves the field and returns back, it will come back as a quote-unquote new monster. So it'll regain whatever once per duel effect it might have, or not once per duel, but once per face up on the field, because that's what Baron says, is once once per face up on it's very weird, but like once per face up, you can negate something on the field, right? So when it comes back, it's treated as a new card, so it's now reface up. It would be that would be the wrong way to say it, but it would come back as a new monster, which is why you're able to place Baron de Floor and SP Little Knight as well, in whatever column you choose to, because it's coming back as a new monster, so it's being kind of special summoned again. So just in case you guys didn't know that as well, keep that in mind. That is the actual ruling for anything. But yeah, that was the most common one that I had. I think I answered that like over 4 times, which is not bad, because it's repetitive, and then it kind of stays in your head, which is really good. And that way, you know that that's what everybody agrees on, and yeah. But it is a long day. I spent over, I think, about 15-16 hours at the convention center, because that's where the regionals was held, was at the convention center. So it was really long. Judge calls at 7 and it ends at 10, or whenever the 10 rounds are finished. So it's like, I think I finished it this time around. It was earlier than the last time. The first time I ended up almost leaving at 11 with the with the end of regional judge meeting thing that we had. But this time around it was like 10. It was under 10:30. It was like 10:12 or something like that. So it was actually quicker this time around. But yeah, you do get stuff. All right, that's kind of also why I did it, because I wanted some field centers. But you don't get field centers unless you're in like tier 3 apparently, which is like YCS's. This is what I was playing with, was this cool judgment. The first time I did a judge, I was a judge. I didn't get this, which was kind of suckish, but it is a pretty cool pen. It has like 3 settings on it, which is cool. Oh, I can get it to focus. It has a black, blue, and then red. Red is highlighted because when you're a judge, it's always going to be red, for like infractions and stuff, whether it's major or minor. If you guys ever decide to be a judge and take the test, those infractions are very important, because anything can happen, and there's something that you really need to memorize, because they do come up. The first time I did a regional, I ended up having to give what was it, a game loss, not because the player was tardy, but because they didn't resolve a card, and it ended up affecting the game state, which made the game irreparable. So like, even though they called me, they're like, can you do something about it? I can't. So the scenario was player A activated, I think it was purely Happy Memory, which on resolution you have to choose a card on the field, so that way the first time it would be destroyed by a card effect it can't, right? So they had my firm purely on the field, and Stray Purely Street, I think it's called, the field spell. So upon resolution at the end of the turn, player A didn't choose an effect. So past turn, player B is now, they have tier elements, so they pop off, they mill, they do Baron, they go into Baron, and they go into I think tier elements Rhino Heart. No, not Rhino Heart, Kaleido Heart. Which is like, once on the field, it can target something and just return it to I don't think it targets, but I think it might. It returns cards on the field to the hand or something like that. And once player B was about to activate their Baron effect to pop something on the field, well, this is where it kind of becomes problematic, because player B now, if they were to, and they called me over at that point, if I were to say, hey, you can choose anything, because it's fine, which it's not, let's say player A chooses my friend Purely, right? Now player B has no choice but to target the field spell. But going back, if player A chooses the field spell, well, now player B has to choose the my friend Purely. So it creates a really bad dynamic. It makes it unrepairable because it's, it affects the game state so bad that, whatever happens, player B is going to choose the opposite. Now, let's say I were to wind it back, right? Let's say, oh, well, let's put all the cards back into your deck for player B. And player A can now, resolve their my pretty memory, or whatever it's called, whatever quick play spell that they used. Now they'll pass turn. Player B will now draw. Guess what? That card is now going to be a new card that they probably they weren't supposed to draw. So it becomes really, really bad, and that's what I mean by it becomes irreparable. And the combos that they do might be different. They might not get the same mills. They might not be able to pop off. They might become, stuck, and then they pass turn to player A. Now player A can pop off and finish the duel. So that's what I mean when it becomes irreparable. And I can't, when you have those type of major infractions, you do have to talk to either a floor lead or the head judge. And I did talk to the head judge, and the head judge agreed that it was irreparable, and that's what it was ruled, and that's how I ruled it. And it sucks when you do stuff like that, but it is, the player's responsibility to make sure that the game state is, good. And it's both players' responsibilities to, one question that popped up in the test that I took was, if player B knows that an effect is supposed to resolve, like my friend Purely, I think it's Purely Happy Memory. If player B knows that player A is supposed to choose on resolution, and they pass turn without allowing me to do it, then both of them are both get the game loss. But player B didn't really realize it until the end, and it became the responsibility of player B. So I had to unfortunately give the game loss to player A. But yeah, keep that in mind, to always have game state perfectly balanced, I guess would be the right word. Well, wouldn't be the right word, but something along the lines of that. But yeah, I also got like some sleeves, which are really, really cool. And these are the judge sleeves, which are really, really nice. They were kind of put to the ringer, because I kept sliding them around a lot in my backpack, which is just the outer sleeves. But it's like, I think it's an 80 count. Whoops, that's really dirty, sorry. But yeah, it's an 80 count. But it's pretty. I love the sleeves. I don't know if I want to open it yet. I probably will, just to put my extra deck. But these are the sleeves that I received at the end of the regional. I also did receive a lanyard, but I kind of put it away by accident. But it's really cool. It matches the Judge 2023, which is like the hieroglyphs and stuff, which is really, really cool. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun experience. If you guys want me to talk a little bit more about how to get into the judge program, or maybe some more rulings too, I'm more than glad. I know that MSTV does it, but they only do like certain ones. Like there are other rulings that I figured out, or like I learned along the way, that are very, very helpful and are extremely like kind of mind-opening or eye-opening, really. If you guys want me to do videos like that, let me know. I'm more than glad to do it, and I'll create the scenarios like with actual physical cards, to make it a little different, and I feel like it's a little more helpful, I think, seeing the cards and the interactions and stuff. But yeah, I mean, overall, my second time doing a regional, it was a lot of fun. I did have yes, it's very tiring because you're walking around a lot. So I had to sit down a few times and, just try and rest, but it was a lot of fun. I did thoroughly enjoy it. It was a fun event. And none of my friends topped this time. I think only 3 3 people from my friend group went, but unfortunately they didn't do that well because the format's so open, which is awesome. But it also kind of hurts because what do you how do you side in, what do you play and stuff like that. So like I said, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do those videos, or I might actually do them later on so you guys can see their interactions and stuff. And but yeah, this is pretty much it. I just wanted to get this off my chest of like, me being a judge and how great of an experience it really was for me to do it. And yeah, but like I said, let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want judging ruling questions and stuff like that, or even how to get into the Konami program too. I'll do that as well. But yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch my little vlog and stuff. I'll see you guys on the next one.